There is a question that lingers in all of us, often left unspoken but deeply felt. Why do people fall in love with me? At first glance, the answer might seem obvious. Your personality, your presence, your charm, or perhaps even the way you smile or speak. But what if love isn't born in what's visible, but in what is unseen? What if the reason someone feels irresistibly drawn to you is not who you are on the surface, but what you unconsciously awaken in them? In a world obsessed with appearances, we are taught to believe that love is sparked by external beauty or clever conversation. Yet the deeper truths about human attraction lie far below that surface, within the unconscious, where archetypes dwell and ancient stories replay themselves again and again through the people we meet. Carl Jung, one of the great architects of depth psychology, believed that love is never accidental. According to Jung, people fall in love with you for two profound reasons, and neither has much to do with your conscious personality. These reasons are rooted in projection and archetypal resonance. In essence, people are not always falling in love with you. They are falling in love with what you represent in their psychic world. Let's take a journey into that world. We like to think love just happens. A glance, a spark, a mysterious connection that defies logic. And yet, Jung would argue there is nothing random about love. Behind the serendipity is a pattern, an invisible structure, built from the depths of the unconscious, shaped by our emotional histories, our unmet needs, our inner wounds. When you feel magnetically drawn to someone, it often feels like magic. But magic, too, follows a ritual. It's not spontaneous. It's orchestrated by invisible forces. Your unconscious knows more than your mind does. And sometimes, it brings someone into your life to serve a purpose you don't yet understand. This is where Jung introduces the concept of projection. Every person carries within them forgotten parts, qualities they once had, or still need to develop, or perhaps have always longed for. These hidden aspects don't simply vanish. They retreat into the unconscious, into the shadow, waiting for the right moment to reappear. And how do they reappear? Through other people. Imagine a woman who's lived her life cautiously, suppressing her desire for bold expression. One day, she meets someone who is unapologetically free, expressive, and daring. She finds herself captivated, not just by the person, but by what the person represents, the buried part of herself longing for liberation. The attraction is real, but the driving force is not romantic chemistry, it's psychological recognition. You may become the embodiment of what that person needs to become, a mirror not of who they are, but of who they could be. They don't fall in love with you entirely. They fall in love with the piece of themselves you've awakened. This is the first great reason people fall in love with you, because you reflect a trait or essence they've unconsciously been seeking. You appear as a missing puzzle piece in their inner world. But here's the danger. When they cling to you because of that projected ideal, they often do so out of need, not understanding. They admire your boldness, but not your complexity. They crave your emotional depth, but not your contradictions. And the moment your human flaws disrupt their fantasy, the illusion breaks. The love, once intense, begins to fade. This is the double-edged sword of projection. It creates connection, but it also creates illusion. And illusions, no matter how enchanting, are not sustainable. Jung went beyond projection with his concepts of anima and animus, archetypal images of the opposite gender that live deep in our psyche. According to Jung, every man carries an inner feminine image, the anima, while every woman carries an inner masculine image, the animus. These are not mere gender roles or preferences. They are psychic blueprints inherited from our early relationships and the collective unconscious. These inner figures often remain dormant until one day, someone appears who fits them. Not necessarily in physical appearance or behavior, but in essence. And when that happens, the reaction is overwhelming. It feels like destiny, a soulmate, as if you've known them forever, even if you've only just met. But what's really happening is this. They are falling in love with an inner archetype projected onto you. You don't just remind them of someone, they believe you are that someone. A fantasy, a symbol, a mythic figure stepping out of the dream world into the real. This is the second great reason people fall in love with you. Because you embody, even if unconsciously, the anima or animus figure they've carried their whole lives. You become the image of their soul's other half, not in reality, but in psychic symbolism. But just like with projections of missing traits, this too can be dangerous. Because the archetype is too perfect, too sacred, and when the reality of who you are begins to emerge, your flaws, your moods, your humanity, the illusion collapses under the weight of truth. This is why many passionate, euphoric romances turn into heartbreak. They were never truly about love, they were archetypal stories, myths playing out on a human stage. Despite the illusions that projection creates, Jung didn't see them as failures. He believed these experiences were necessary for our growth. Love, in this sense, is not an end, it is a beginning, a powerful tool of transformation. Every person we fall for is a mirror. Some show us our hidden talents. Others expose our deepest wounds. Some awaken our creativity. Others our fears. But all of them, every single one, help us move toward individuation, Jung's term for the journey of becoming whole. When someone falls in love with you, they are often not seeing you at all. They are seeing the version of themselves they wish to reclaim. You are not just a romantic partner, you are a symbol, a psychological invitation. And the same is true in reverse. Think about the people you've fallen for, especially the ones who changed you, hurt you, or broke you open. They were not random. They were catalysts. They carried the key to a part of yourself you needed to awaken. And even if the relationship ended in pain, the lesson it offered was sacred. These encounters, Jung said, are synchronistic, meaningful coincidences that emerge when your soul is ready. They appear not as destiny, but as signs that transformation is possible, if you're willing to look within. If you don't recognize these patterns, these projections and archetypes, you risk falling in love with the same person in different bodies. Again and again. You might think you're cursed in love, when in fact your unconscious is simply trying to teach you something you've yet to learn. Awareness is the key. When you become conscious of the figures you carry inside, your projections, your inner images, your unfulfilled needs, you stop looking for someone to complete you. You stop seeking salvation in others. Instead, you begin the true work, becoming whole within yourself. From that place, love transforms. It becomes real, grounded, liberated, no longer a prison of fantasy, but a partnership of growth. Because the deepest love is never about finding the perfect person. It's about awakening the perfect mirror, the one that shows you the parts of yourself you've ignored, denied, or forgotten. You don't just fall in love with others. You fall in love with the version of yourself they help you see. So the next time someone falls in love with you, or you feel that deep, inexplicable pull towards someone else, pause, reflect, ask yourself, what part of the soul is waking up right now? Is it a buried potential? A lost memory? An ancient image from the depths of your psyche? Whatever it is, don't dismiss it as coincidence. It's your unconscious speaking. It's your evolution calling. Love, through Jung's eyes, is not a destination. It's a sacred process. A journey back, not to another person, but to the self. And the people who stir your soul the most? They're not distractions. They're guides. In the end, love is not about finding someone who completes you. It's about remembering the parts of yourself that were always whole, waiting, through every encounter, to be seen. Thank you for accompanying. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below so we can discuss. Wish you and your family good health.